Meet Me at the Edge is a film made by Cornwall-based, site-specific theatre company Wildworks. The film is approximately 50 minutes long. It features a series of monologues written and narrated by 13 performers. The narrators' voices are set to video footage that is not directly related to the words spoken, but instead shows each performer alone in different parts of a landscape or particular environment. The montage in each segment is non-linear, and the framing and settings vary for each performer, from close-ups to wide angles and sweeping views, or sometimes just a pair of hands. Most are filmed outside in the daytime. Creative captioning is present throughout, scattering white words across the images as they are heard. The primary film location, and where the original live event was due to occur, is on the Botalic Cliffs in Cornwall. This main footage, shot with a drone, shows dramatic aerial views of the coastal landscape and allows us to float around this space, hovering high above the water, gliding down the cliff face, skimming the mossy grass, or drifting behind someone's shoulder as they walk. The Botalic Cliffs are made of granite, white at their highest points, turning to shades of brown, green, and copper red on the descent, to become pitch black where they meet the ocean. They look out over a vast expanse of the Atlantic. The horizon is clear and the skies range from vibrant blue to cloudy white depending on the segment of footage. The water is at times grey and at others a teal blue-green. Where the ocean meets the cliffs, it becomes a brilliant white swirling foam. The cliffs are surrounded and covered by heathland, dark bushes of heather and gorse yet to flower. Moss and grass mingle with pale chunks of rock. A path lined with long grass winds its way down the cliff face, passing the ruins of 2 stone mine houses. Each of the 13 performers is filmed separately and alone for the most part. Footage is at times layered with very slow crossfades, creating overlaps of waves with heathland, making the images barely distinguishable for a moment before sliding into focus again. Many of the segments are slightly slowed down. Some are softly blurred around the edges. The layers and crossfades occasionally create a sense of disorientation. Mary Woodvine is the first voice we hear and the first to appear in the film. We meet her as she walks barefoot towards the cliff edge. She is a white woman in her 40s. Her pale skin is sun-kissed, and lines around her cheeks and eyes show decades of smiling. Mary's lips are thin, her nose is freckled, and her eyes are blue. Her wavy, light brown hair, cut above the shoulders in layers, is tousled by the wind. She has a gold band on her right ring finger. She wears a dark denim-coloured tunic with white buttons. It is slightly wrinkled. The collar is open and the sleeves are rolled up. In some frames, she has a blue turtleneck jumper under her tunic. She has blue jeans rolled up above the ankles. Mary stands strongly rooted, looking out over the ocean. The setting sun gives a golden-pink hue to her segment. The second voice we hear, as an aerial view floats us high up the cliff, is Mercedes Kemp. Mercedes is an older woman, in her late 60s. Her olive skin is wrinkly. Short black hair escapes from a moss-green knitted beanie. She wears tortoise-shell glasses. She has a black anorak with a hood over a woolly, speckled blue turtleneck jumper, blue jeans and brown leather walking boots. She is wearing black fingerless mittens. We follow her as she walks along the coastal path, stopping to gaze out at the ocean. Later on, Mercedes is joined by Peppa, a small white Jack Russell dog who walks by Mercedes' side without a lead. The third narrator and performer is Amar Haj Ahmad. He presents as a white man in his 30s. His straight, dark hair is almost shoulder length and slightly messy. His beard and mustache are full, thick, and well trimmed. Amar has thick black eyebrows and wears chunky black headphones over his ears. He has a navy blue woolen jacket which he wears unzipped over a pale blue t-shirt, and loose jeans rolled up to his ankle show brown leather boots. He strolls along a busy canal path in London, before sitting on a park bench to look out at the cityscape. Amar walks with a casual assurance, one hand in his jean pocket. The segment is in slow motion and the edges are softly blurred. Iga Webb is the fourth performer. Her footage is lower quality film and slightly grainy. The screen is split in two vertical halves, and different parts of Iga's video are shown on both sides simultaneously. Iga has pale white skin and is in her early 30s. She is slim, has shoulder-length dark blonde hair with a short messy fringe. She wears a long, pale blue cotton button-down dress with no sleeves, which billows in the wind. She smiles and squints at the camera as we follow her down the coastal path to the beach, where she removes her brown moccasin shoes. She walks lightly, a bounce in her step. The fifth voice and footage belongs to Sue Hill. Her film segment features only her hands and forearms planting small potatoes in soil, along with some close-ups of vivid green leafy chard. Sue is a white woman in her mid-60s. Her hands are thin, lightly tanned with some wrinkles. A thick silver band is loose on her ring finger. A blue fleece jumper covers her arms. Abby Hutchinson is the sixth narrator. She is a young woman in her 20s with smooth, light brown skin and brown hair in kinky curls, shoulder length, parted at the middle. She has full rosy lips and green eyes with curled lashes. She wears small crystal and silver earrings. Her thick black anorak is zipped up over a grey hoodie. Her hands are in her pockets as she walks along the coastal path and looks out to the ocean with a soft gaze. Rebecca Holbert follows on from Abby. Rebecca is filmed in her home. She is a white woman, lightly tanned, in her early 40s. Her dark brown, shoulder-length hair frames her face. Some is clipped back. She wears a navy blue cable-knit jumper and black jeans. She is barefoot. In Rebecca's segment, we meet her son Arthur, who is a smiley 1.5-year-old toddler. His skin is white with rosy cheeks. He has a round face, round green-blue eyes, scruffy brown hair and a dark brow. He wears a stripy top under his blue overalls. Nadja Nadaraja is the eighth narrator, and her segment shows her from the waist up, indoors against a plain grey wall. Another clip features her by a beige stone wall outside on a bright sunny day. Nadja is a woman in her early 40s. Her skin is dark brown, her hair is black and tied in a plait. She has big round brown eyes, dark cherry-coloured lips and small ear studs. She wears an aqua green jumbo knit jumper with short sleeves. Her face translates many expressions. Nadja is the only performer who is actively addressing us in her segment, using British Sign Language to share her story. Daisy Gibbs is next. She is a white woman in her mid-30s. She seems tall and lean despite only being shown from the waist up. Her skin is pale and freckled. Daisy's vibrant ginger hair is tied in a messy bun, revealing a buzzed undercut. She has a short fringe on a concerned brow and green eyes that squint in the sunlight. Her mouth is slightly open, showing her large front teeth. She wears a loose, faded yellow cotton shirt, unbuttoned. Around Daisy's neck is a navy kerchief knotted to the side. A black V-neck top is under her yellow shirt, and a small dark gem hangs on a thin necklace chain over her bare collarbone. Theo Blackmore is the following contributor. Theo is a white man in his mid-50s and uses a mobility scooter. He wears grey glasses and a grey cable-knit beanie. We glimpse short grey hair under his hat and the shadow of a sideburn on his otherwise clean-shaven face. He wears a brown tweed jacket over a grey hoodie. The 11th narrator-performer is Emma Frankland, a tall, slim, busty trans woman in her 40s, though she looks younger. She has dark, wavy hair just above shoulder length. Emma wears a loose aqua blue jumper over a fuchsia pink miniskirt, black tights, and dark red ankle-high boots. She is filmed by a river with apartment blocks on the opposing shore. As she walks along the water, her knee-length black coat floats in the wind. A further segment shows Emma strolling on a beach at low tide with a child. Joan Jacobs is featured next. He is a young white man in his early 20s. He is tall and thin, his hair is short and dark. Joan wears a bright yellow fisherman-style coat that stands out against the white sky. He wears blue jeans and ankle-high boots. He stands on a cliff peak. There is no close-up footage of him to reveal any further detail. The final contributor is Andrew Wilkie, who shows us only a single eye, close up and in black and white. The eye looks around, blinks, and at moments looks straight into the camera. This monochrome footage of Andrew's eye is so close that it is out of focus. An additional layer of undistinguishable footage blurs the image even further. The performers' segments follow one after the other, separated by close-up footage of milky white water slowly swirling and rolling around dark rock, with the exception of Mary and Mercedes, whose stories fade into one another with no watery transition.